Yo, what's going on guys? It's Kiddo and I'm gonna bring you guys another Skyblock video. Now, in the last video, I think it was a bit confusing because I watched it over in the editing software I was using, and like, cause I was like wondering why so few people were watching through a majority of the video and they actually clicked off before I actually got into the real money making method. And I realized how like bad of an idea it is to talk the first 3 minutes about the less profitable method, but I kind of got sidetracked and was talking that was what was in my mind. So I'm sorry for the confusion. If you clicked off of that video then thought that I was just talking about iFarming, then you would be wrong. So I mean, I thought I made that clear in the beginning that I only made 1.3 mil an hour, but I don't know. YouTube is weird. So basically, today's video, I'm going to be talking about the different tips and tricks that I've found that can actually help you guys progress much better in Skyblock. And these are tips and tricks that only one of which I have not, I have actually seen before. And I'm actually going to be talking about because I don't know how many people were actually there for the one live stream, but it's a good, it's a really good tip, and I think even if you like, for those of you that don't know about it, you should know about it anyway. But I don't take credit for it, so I'll tell you guys when I get to it. But today's video is going to be different because I'm actually doing a voiceover, so that you don't have to hear my really loud mouse with my 7 to 8 clicks per second, because and also I don't want to have what happened last video happen this video, where I am completely getting sidetracked and don't know what I'm talking about. So I made like a little script that I'm going to be trying to follow as loosely as possible to help me to help guide my thoughts. So first up, we're going to talk about catalysts. Now, in contrary to popular belief, catalysts are not the best upgrade for most of your minions. Now, you might think this is weird because have the highest efficiency of 3 times the output, but in terms of price, it is not worth it for most minions, and I'll explain why. So the lowest price on the bazaar, according to the graphs, is 27k, but this is actually not even a reasonable price for catalysts. They sell for like 28 to 29k, maybe even 30k. It really is not as it's like I just want to give Catalyst as fair a chance as I possibly can by giving a low price that's actually below Bazaar value to show you guys how bad they are for certain minions. So if we use that value of 27,000 and the fact that each catalyst lasts for 3 hours and each day is 24 hours, that means we need 8 catalysts per minion each day to keep it going forever. So if we multiply that number 27k by 8, we get 216,000 coins per minion each day for the cost of catalysts. Now, this means that without catalysts, each minion needs to make at least 108,000 coins a day to justify buying catalysts. Now, after like that's just to justify buying it to make it so you don't lose money. You'd have to make more than 108,000 coins per minion just like with no upgrade. Like I mean, of course tier I mean tiers is iffy, but you'd have to make 108k without fuels in order to make up for the price. Now, I thought I didn't really believe this the first time I did it, so I actually like ran through a minion calculator to see like some minions that I used catalysts on to see if I'm losing money. So the first minion I actually wanted to test, and the one I'm actually going to talk about in this video is the snow minion. Now, the snow minion is a great money making minion, but the price of catalysts is not worth it. So for each day, for this test, I used a minion calculator with a tier 11 snow minion that had diamond spreading and a super compactor 3000. No fuels, or yeah, no fuels, or I mean, you could add a fly catcher if you wanted. I don't know how like whether or not that makes Callus more worth it, but that would only increase the amount by 20%, or speed by 20%, which is still not enough to justify for snow minions at least. So uh, each minion from just the again diamond spreading was 75,667 coins. This is no fuels. So once you add catalysts, you'll be making about like 225k per per day. But that means that you're not only barely paying for the price of catalysts, but you're also losing 64,666 coins of profit because you're using catalysts and not the bare minion output that you get. And if you were to add enchanted lava buckets, which sure it can be pricey, but over time, like a relatively fast amount of time, they'll pay themselves off. So I suggest you get lots of enchanted lava buckets. So unless you're going for collection or maybe skills, catalysts won't be worth it in most minions. Like one of the minions I actually was using catalyst on that was profitable was redstone. Now this is only because the price of redstone is severely inflated, and I used a tier 11. I don't think it's profitable for a tier 7. I'd have to do that math. But for a tier 11 redstone minion with diamond spreading, it makes 131,964 coins each day with no catalysts. So that means if you put a 8 catalysts on it and then have it go through the full day, you will actually gain 47,929 coins more each day from catalysts. So in this case, catalysts are better, but I was honestly impressed that catalysts are not always justifiable for the price being so incredibly high. So if you want to check if your minion's good or not for making money with catalysts, you're going to want to check the value or the output and how many coins it makes each day, and you can save some money by not wasting your catalysts on unnecessary, like just unnecessary catalysts that are losing you money. Next up, I'm going to be talking about drag fights. Now, this tip for drag fights is specifically when you're leeching, not so much when you're actually placing. But if you're leeching drags, it's actually good to target the crystal frags with a non-aiming bow. Now, this is because the crystal frags are really profitable to craft into catalysts and then sell, and you make about like if you're selling, you make like 28k per catalyst. So that's pretty good. And that means that if you're doing drags and leeching, in most instances, it's in fact like 90 for not 90, but for what how many? What are there? 7 drags? Yeah, 6 out of the 7 drags. It's actually better to not even like. I mean, I wouldn't say not focus on the drag, but not focus as much and go for crystals, which actually like superior is the only one that you would want to go for the dragon. But basically, I did the math for the fragment to crystal calculations, and for Olden Protector, they're really bad. If you get Olden Protector, the frags, it's 10 frags for a single crystal. So that means if you get one crystal, you basically got second or third place on it. That drag, which is kind of insane. Next, we have Wise, which is if you destroy one crystal and get it, you get 7 frags. And if you get 7 frags, that's the equivalent of like, I think fourth or fifth. It depends on like what you get, but like fourth maybe. I don't know. That's still for one crystal. That's pretty good. Young and unstable. It's like 4 to 5. It's like kind of in between that. So that means that 10th to 5th place, you're making, which you'd have to get, which is actually really easy on a drag for Runan's Dragon Hunter 5. Well, I mean, I only have Dragon Hunter 4 because I'm poor, but that's whatever. Uh, the next thing is strong. Now, strong, it's I think strong, young, and unstable. It's actually good to target the drag, but once you like young and unstable, you should target the drag, and once you see the crystal respawn message, you want to like find the crystal. But for strong, since it's more profitable and 2 frags are the same value of a crystal, you want to keep targeting the dragon anyway. And once you see the beam, you're gonna want to track to the beam to target and destroy the crystal. And of course, if you're doing this method, you're gonna want to have a secondary bow without aiming. Now I have an explosive bow. It makes sure it has telekinesis, but not aiming on it. And you're gonna have to get decent with your accuracy. So that means that if you can't hit the crystal, it won't home in on it with aiming, which is slightly unfortunate, but it makes it easier for the people that are actually good at aiming bows without needing a handicap like aiming, and against the people that are just used to aiming. So that's actually really useful for getting frags if you're a better archer, you can get more, which is why I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a better archer, but like the hitbox is pretty large on the crystal frags, and they're relatively easy to hit from like across the end, so I can get like 4 to 5 per drag if I'm really like in most cases. Although majority of the time I only get 2 or 3, sometimes I can get more than that if I'm lucky with not as many people going for the crystal frags. And superior, just kind of ignore the crystals entirely. The price of superior has not only gone up, but it's still the most profitable drag, and one superior frag is worth 8 to 9 crystals. So yeah, just forget about crystals entirely. And this also means that superior drags, I guess, you had more damage dealt to them in the end. So if you have more damage on a superior than you do other drags, watch out, because I actually did over 1 million damage, like 1.2 million, and got 7th. So it really, like you really have to focus on doing a lot of damage on superior drags to get a lot of fragments. Next up is the method that I've actually seen. It's the obsidian chestplate. Now, I just think this is so good that even though it was on a 30 viruses stream, I have to talk about it again, because it is, since the new personal compactor update, like I've been using the obsidian chestplate. I used to use it before I could get 400 speed cap, but now it's just generally good, because for each 20 obsidian in your inventory, you can get 1 speed. Now, this used to be bad because you have to have almost all of your inventory filled up, or majority of your inventory filled up, but now that there is the personal compactor and sack update, you really don't need as much inventory space. You could probably get away with like 9 slots and be fine for a while. So that's good. And the next strategy is baits. Now, baits are actually good for bazaar flipping, and if you just, it's like one of those craft and flip things. Like, I didn't go back to the fish recipes, but you might be able to, like, the raw fish and like salmon and spike the not spike, the puffer fish, and like there's all sorts of different fishes that you could buy. You could probably make more money from this, but from instantly buying the baits themselves, it's 858 coins as of recording this video, and for the whale bait, of course, to craft the whale bait, it's 858 coins in costs, and 900 coins for instant sell, 1,000 for a sell order. So if we are selling for a sell order, and let's say we sell for 980k per, that's still 120 coins per fish, which I didn't do the math on this, would be somewhere equivalent to like 80k per stack, I think. No, 8k per stack, which, so 8k per stack, and this means that if you just make 8k per each stack, it's actually really fast. It's not really that great for money making, but if you're looking for some easy profit and some flips, you can try flipping bait if you want to. And because it's more, baits are actually more recent and slightly unstable as the market, because there's not really a defined price. Like, I don't know why there's not a that like they're not at the value, so that way crafting it isn't less. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me, but it's whatever. So the last tip is to like the video, because at 25 likes, if I get 25 likes after 1 week of this video being up, I will be posting a part 2 with even more tips and tricks. Now, the reason why this is higher is because I kind of want to keep some of these tricks to myself, and also because I don't want to spoil all like these secret methods that I have for money making, or just secret methods I have found in general. So like if you want to see a part 2, and if I get 25 likes, I guess I'm doing a part 2. So we'll see how that goes. And so anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and thought it was useful. If you are really want to see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be posting more Skyblock content, because my other videos really aren't getting, they're not really getting as, like, they're not really as popular as the Skyblock ones, and I like realized that after my carrot farming method that people really are interested in finding good money making methods in Skyblock and good like little tips like here and there. So I just made this video thinking I could help some people out, and also hopefully drive down the price of catalysts. I don't know, it really depends. But anyways, if you guys just enjoyed, like and subscribe, Have a good one. I'll see you guys. If I don't see you guys in the next Skyblock tips and tricks episode, I'll see you in the next Skyblock episode or Skywars video, whatever I feel like posting next. And have a good day. See you guys in the next one. Bye.